It was in 2006, only the weeks before its retirement, the Indian Air Force made public the existence of the MiG-25 with it. Mr. Shiv Arur was the first journalist to visit Bareilly Air Base and to report about them. These aircraft served for almost 25 years with IAF. During this period, it acted as a super spy in the sky for India. The Foxbat gave valuable intelligence about India's hostile adversaries by its excellent reconnaissance capabilities. And most importantly, except few top officials of IAF and the pilots who flew it, no one knew about its existence in India. Apart from this, the MiG-25 has many records on its name. These are the fastest fighter jet in the world, the fighter with the highest service ceiling, and many more. MiG-25 was a Soviet aircraft. It was primarily an interceptor. In the 1960s and 70s, USSR was facing a major threat from the high-flying US bombers. These used to fly so high that no ordinary interceptor could engage them, so the Soviets developed this MiG-25 to counter them. It took off for the first time in 1964. Initially, they were under extreme secrecy, but in 1976, Victor Blanco compromised its secrecy. With this, the MiG-25 was no more a secret to the world. Then the USSR made it available for export to friendly nations. It was such a notorious that NATO gave it the nickname Foxbat. IAF inducted MiG-25 in its fleet in 1981. India went for the MiG-25R. This was the reconnaissance version, and not the interceptor or bomber version. It was totally unarmed. It didn't have any modern countermeasures against SAMs. MiG-25R's only defense was its speed and cruising altitude that no contemporary aircraft could match. But why there was the need of MiG-25? There were two main reasons behind this. One, these were required for strategic reconnaissance. In the 80s, satellite surveillance was much more a futuristic thing. And second, the aerial platforms that were already present were vulnerable to enemy interception. Thus, such a platform was needed, which could not be countered by India's both the adversaries. IAF operated 10 MiG-25S8 were single-seaters and 2 twin-seaters. These were part of the 102 Trisonic Squadron of IAF. These were primarily worked for the ARC, Aviation Research Center, which is the premier technological intelligence arm of the R&AW. R&AW has the responsibility of collecting foreign intelligence and look after the borders of the country. Thus, MiG-25 boosted R&A's technical capabilities to a large scale. Now let's talk about some amazing capabilities of MiG-25. As said by Wing Commander Sanjeev Talian, from the height at which we fly, you can see the entire Himalayan range at one go. No aircraft has ever been able to achieve for us what the Foxbat has. It was a jumbo jet in every parameter. With Mach 2.8 cruising speed, maximum speed Mach 3.2, it had the capability to operate at maximum 90,000 feet of height. This is beyond the range of radars. With this height, plane flies in the stratosphere of the Earth. An interesting fact, the service ceiling of F-16 is around 50,000 feet, and that of Mirage 2000 is around 60,000 feet. MiG-25 had twin Tumansky turbofan engines, and a single long mission consumed 23,000 liters of fuel. It was equipped with 1,200 cameras, which could check on Pakistan while flying over Punjab and Kashmir only. Due to such a massive capability, the MiG-25 was untraceable and indomitable. It flew unchallenged over the skies of Pakistan and Tibet from 1981 to 2006. Foxbat captured HD photographs of military establishments and radar images of their communication networks. It could map a country of the size of Pakistan in single-digit number of sorties. Retired Air Marshal Trawer Usman, who commanded the squadron in the 80s, tells, MiG-25 flew 20 to 25 sorties a month, and most were across the borders. This is enough to give a rough idea of what massive amount of intelligence the MiG-25S would have created for the Indian defense establishments. The MiG-25S operated under thick blanket of secrecy. This secrecy continues to prevail till date about its operations. Thus, all the missions of Foxbat are not there in public domain officially. Still, some achievements are there in public through sources and the pilots who actually flew it. One such achievement was filming the solar eclipse from the stratosphere in 1995. This gave fantastic photographs of the solar eclipse, which could not be otherwise captured from the Earth's surface. During 1999 Kargil War, MiG-25 photographed the entire conflict zone along the LOC in 3 sorties. This gave our fighter jets the accurate positions held by the enemy. Thus, it contributed immensely to the success of Operation Safed Sagar. In 1997, a MiG-25 created a sonic boom in the skies of Islamabad while retaining from a sortie. This created a serious panic in Pakistan. Some reports say that the IAF pilot did it deliberately to show Pakistanis how helpless they were in front of Foxbat. But why MiG-25 was retired? There is an interesting fact that the MiG-25S were retired while they were in good flying condition. But here are some factors made it retire at that time. First, availability of high-resolution remote sensing satellite. This eliminated the need to send an aircraft with a pilot deep into the enemy territory. Second, issue of maintenance. MiG-25 had gone under life extension program in 1995. It had undergone intense operations and extreme operating conditions. This caused much wear and tear. And third, availability of spares from Russia. Russians had stopped production of MiG-25 and their spare parts. They had also reportedly discarded the blueprints of the machine. Although IAF's technicians and pilots had developed their own juguds for maintenance, it was not economically viable to go ahead with it. These super spies are now stationed at Delhi's Palm Museum for public display. However, the Foxbat archives, the operations of the MiG-25, remain enclosed in the secret files of the IAF. We can hope that in the coming years, these glorious chapters of Indian aviation will be made public. Thus, they will keep inspiring the upcoming generations of Indians and Indian aviators. So this is enough for today's episode. Your feedback means the world to us. If you enjoyed this video, please let us know by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. We can't wait to bring you more exciting content in the future.